Good morning everyone, welcome to another episode of To The Point. Today we will discuss that why election expenditure matters. First of all, let's see why is it in the news. The expenditure for the US presidential and congressional elections in November 2024 is projected at $16 billion, highlighting the financial strain of elections globally. In India, political parties spent nearly 1 lakh crores in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, raising concerns over unregulated election spending. Now, what are the limits in India? The election expenditure limit for candidates is Rs 95 lakh per Lok Sabha constituency in larger states and Rs 75 lakh in smaller states. With respect to legislative assemblies, they are Rs 40 lakh and Rs 28 lakh for larger and smaller states respectively. These limits are set from time to time by the Election Commission. There are no limits on the expenditure of political parties during elections. Now moving on to challenges with high election expenditure. High costs create dependencies between candidates and donors, fostering potential corruption. Spending often exceeds the legal limits, with political parties avoiding restrictions. 25% of total spending is reportedly illegally distributed to voters. Rising costs can prevent capable individuals from participating in electoral politics. In India, 2024 election spending reached Rs 1 lakh crores, intensifying the cycle of corruption. Now let's discuss about the proposed reforms to regulate election expenditure. State funding. Suggested by the Indrajit Gupta Committee, allowing partial government funding for recognized political parties. Simultaneous elections could curb excessive spending, though constitutional amendments are needed. Expenditure limits for parties. EC's proposal includes limits tied to the number of party candidates. Financial transparency, amending laws to include financial assistance in candidate expenditure limits. And judicial reinforcement, increase judges in high courts for faster resolution of election-related cases. Now lastly, moving on to advantages of state funding of election. Transparency in electoral funding. The state funding of elections fulfills the citizens' right to know about the election funding and expenditure. This enhances the transparency of the electoral process. Fairness of the electoral process. The state-sponsored elections will ensure all political parties and candidates are at equal footing. This will ensure fairness of the electoral process. Reduction in criminalization of politics. According to Vohra Committee, the criminalization of politics has been a result of the donation of criminal proceeds to political parties. The state funding of elections to political parties will reduce the criminalization of politics, encourage citizen-centric decisions. The funding of elections by the state will break the corporate political nexus. It will encourage the government of the day to take citizen-centric decisions and ensure good governance. And increased accountability. Use of public money will make the political parties more accountable to the public, as it will improve the party-public relations and break the politico-corporate nexus. Now moving on to practice question, consider the following statements about election expenditure. 1. The election expenditure limit for candidates is Rs 95 lakh per Lok Sabha constituency in larger states and Rs 75 lakh in smaller states. 2. The election expenditure limits are set from time to time by the Parliament. Which of the statements given above are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? Send the answer of this question in the comment section. Thanks for watching. For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.